Oh God! Welcome to the Life Happens podcast. My name is Rabia, and as you know, the Life Happens podcast is about taking my spirituality and combining with practical and creating a beautiful balance because that is what I'm working on right now. But anyway, guys, as you can see today, I have the amazing Miika and Ivan. Um, and I'm really excited about this show because this is where I'm at in my life, right? Dating. Okay. So dating in 2022. But before we continue, um,
Umbada, umbada,
oh,
umbada, umda.
Okay, that's enough. All right,
This
sorry.
how we go. This how we gonna be
hey,
in
you
South
promised?
Africa when we go.
No, you promised you were going to behave.
I
Please.
didn't promise no. I promised no
I did.
such thing.
I did.
And those of you who know me know I ain't
Miika.
promised.
But Mika, you know what? I think you worse though, honestly. I really think you worse. But I think you
Yes.
kind of hide it.
See, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's for real
yeah,
though.
keep on. I'll bust all our little secrets out.
That's it.
Go ahead, honey. We're waiting. Go ahead. Tell it. But anyway, guys,
Okay.
so today we're talking about dating, right? And I was doing research about this and I realized I don't really know much, to be honest, because I haven't really dated much in my adult life because I was married for a long time. And so doing the research, I was actually pleasantly surprised because a lot of the stuff I do, but a lot of the stuff I just simply don't have an awareness for, right? So I want to read the statements that dating is really fun and exciting, but sometimes it can also be confusing and complicated. And then I was thinking, well, why is it complicated? Well, because of course we complicated with all these rules that we think we should have in place. I mean, who said your relationship should look like other people? It should be authentic and organic to where you are, right? But now, before we get into the topic, could you read that scenario, please, Ivan?
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say something about what you stated
No,
when
go
you
ahead.
said your
Go ahead.
dating doesn't have to look like anybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna wait till later. I'm gonna break y'all in slow. So we're gonna go on and read the statement. Do you want to tell them anything about this statement before I read it?
Well, no, it's just a scenario. Somebody wrote in wanting advice, basically, like anonymously.
Okay, so this is like a Dear Grace. Miika,
Right.
you want to say Dear Grace and sing us a little intro song real quick?
Go ahead, girl.
We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Dear Grace. Oh, no, what? No.
Wow. Okay.
Oh
So
my God.
let me put on my third grade level
Be
reading.
Uh,
My boyfriend and I have been together 3 months, and he is perfect. He opens doors for me, pays for dates, and reminds me every day how lucky he is to have me. The one problem is that I feel like he checks out other women in public. He never rubbernecks, but the usual glance. He'll usually point out at a duck or something in the scenery, tells me to look, and there happens to be a woman there. My mommy mind actually thinks he's checking her out. We've had plenty of fights over this, and he has even gotten furious telling me how loyal he is and I need to stop accusing him. He's never flirted or talked to a woman that I know of. At this point, I know I have insecurity issues, but it bothers me every day. I legit don't know what to do about it. My relationship is perfect, but I can't help but feel jealous if he sees another woman. I don't want to break up over this. I really want to think positive. He's even told me he feels jealous too when he thinks I check out other guys, but doesn't say anything because he knows I wouldn't hurt him.
he
I
lied.
don't know why I can't have the same mentality. I mean, it could be worse, I guess, like him cheating. However, I don't know how to convince my mind that looking is potentially okay.
Okay, Mika, I want to know your thoughts first.
Whoever this Facebook user is, please give Facebook permission to use your name so I can give you the proper kudos, because she said that first sentence got me like, exactly. My boyfriend and I have been together 3 months and he is perfect.
Well,
Bull shizzy.
It.
but
Right.
Tech,
And
did you
then you
notice?
proceed to tell us how he's not perfect. But go ahead.
But did you notice how she said he's perfect twice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our relationship is
So-
perfect, she said later on.
So How do you know he's perfect? Yeah, I mean, nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
That's
after
number
3 months.
one. Nobody is perfect. Number two,
Alicia, who?
Stop. Hey,
They got a lot of Alicias.
and number two, why? To me, guys are gonna look. I don't find that as a big deal, and
Mhm.
it's surely not a deal breaker. So if you see him looking, homegirl, you look too. A man walk
exactly.
by, you look. I don't think it's a big deal. But I think she just has, like she said, she has insecurities that she has to deal with. That probably stems from another relationship, or somebody cheated on her, or something that comes from a different relationship. Just my opinion. And homegirl, he's not perfect. He will never be perfect,
Ever.
Mhm.
and
Um,
neither will you.
so what do you think, Ivan?
Well, you started off this talking about how relationships don't need to look like other relationships. I'm gonna tell you like this:
Mm-hmm.
if you and your man go to strip clubs together, because a lot of couples do out there in 2022, so I heard. Um, Looking is just a part of life. He got eyes, don't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think he's going to do with them? Now what you need to do is lean into that situation and you point it out. See, most people don't understand. I try to tell them that I'm shy by nature, but in order to fight that, I'm aggressive, and I'm like, I just come on out. I really am. In fact, one of my high school friends, Scooty, it was his mom's house that I went over and this is where I first started turning into the king doc I am today, because I walked in that house and I was as nervous as Grace was before this show started.
Oh my
I was
God.
nervous. You understand? Because I'm like, oh Lord, they're gonna ask me if I want something to eat, and that was just the most embarrassing thing in the world to me. So,
Oh,
and I didn't like feeling like that. So when I walked in the door, the first thing I said is, "What y'all got to eat in here?" And their reception and their and how they received that was so warm and good. I was like, okay, this is how I'm rocking from now on out. So now I just say what generally people are thinking, or something to break the ice, and I take control. It's the difference between being a thermometer or a thermostat. So I'm
Right.
setting the temperature when I walk into a spot instead of trying to take it. So again, like Grace says, your relationship doesn't have to be like anybody else. Lean into the situation. You see somebody who look good, baby, look at her. Hey, don't you like that dress? Or I need to get me a dress like that, or whatever the case may be. Lean into the situation. He ain't hollering at, he looking. Hell.
That's it.
no, I agree, but I think we should dig a little deeper. I think there could be so many things, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I thought about is father issues. Okay. I thought about
Mm-hmm.
abandonment issues. That's why she feels like that. Because maybe she saw her relationship, her parents' relationship, or simply, like Miika was saying, she's just been hurt really bad. But it
Mm-hmm.
seems to me it's in her relationship, this has taken over her thought process because she's watching him all the time instead of focusing on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I see beautiful women all the time, and I can say that woman is beautiful. Now, if the man is looking a little too hard, we're gonna have a problem. But if he just says, I'm just being honest. I mean, you can't be like rubbernecking like she's now. I mean,
Matter of fact, she even said, but the
right,
usual glance.
right. So I mean, to me, what he's doing is really nothing. I think she's
Nothing.
looking for issues. To me, it sounds like self-sabotage. Like she's looking for something. The fact that she said he's perfect twice, you know he
Mhm.
ain't perfect. What
Right.
human being is perfect? Where? What man is perfect? What woman is perfect? Especially men are not perfect. I mean, we could do, more as women, but men, they're not.
Thank you.
What?
I got you now, since you want to shoot the jab. So yeah, so she knows that she tripping because she put on there. However, I don't know how to convince my mind
Yeah.
that looking is potentially okay. She knows what the answer is. She
Yeah.
knows she being silly about it, but can't control it. And I'm telling you, the first step is just simply to do that. You say, how do I convince my mind that looking is potentially okay? By stating it, by
Yeah.
just saying out loud, it ain't nothing wrong with him looking.
And you
Everybody look.
you said something. You said lean in. I like
Mm-hmm.
that because I was thinking the other day, like if you lean into insecurity, like we're using this, or you lean into anger, you lean into pain, that's how you overcome because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you think about it. And
Yeah.
so it's in the forefront of your mind because this guy could be a good guy, really, potentially could
Oh
be a
yeah.
husband, but she may run him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, if to take her at her word to say he opens doors for me, He's paying on dates. He reminds me every day of how lucky he is to have me. This dudes ain't doing that. Dudes that done been married with their old ladies for decades that ain't doing that. So if you got a dude who's doing that, at the very least, he understands the importance of it. And I'm gonna tell you like this: for me, somebody who's doing something that ain't even genuine at doing it, they still get some credit because they understand the importance of it enough to lie about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he also says, like, I think you just said that now, that he said he gets jealous when she does. I think he just said that to make her feel good.
Probably.
Yeah.
It wasn't because he probably doesn't care. He seems to be more emotionally healthy.
Yeah.
Because it's, to me, if I didn't see my man looking at somebody else, I'm like, you're pretending.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're pretending.
Yeah.
Because then that's not real. Like, I don't want what's not real.
And I'm just silly enough to where, to me, as the dude, I'm gonna probably make it a joke. And I might turn around and walk backwards for a few steps and mess with you and say, God, dog. You know, then look at you, whatever, just to make the situation lighter. Or I might turn around and point out some dudes like, God, dog, look at that nigga. He got a 7-pack over there.
Right.
Or something like that, just to lighten the situation.
Or like Alicia said, hell, I'd be like, she bad.
Right.
If you're a woman and you see another pretty woman, that's okay for you to say, oh, she bad. I see why you looking.
Or I'm gonna we're gonna go to a burlesque show or a strip club or something like that, and we're gonna come home and I'm gonna prove to how advantageous it is for me to be looking. Because guess what? You're gonna reap the rewards.
Oh.
Okay.
Move on.
Let me read some comments. Jesus. So, Facebook user, I don't know. The important thing is agreement between him and her, but that agreement isn't always easy to achieve. Absolutely. I mean, I think that comes with growth in your relationship anyway, right? I mean, I would think, this is a 3-month-old relationship. I mean, how much growth could you have by now?
Right.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this too. We make things more complicated than they have to be.
We do?
Yeah.
Really. It doesn't have to, so she said that agreement isn't always easy to achieve. It depends on when you try to achieve it. If you start early on and you lay things out on the line and say, hey, look, and these are the types of conversations I have, and say, look, we don't have to be doing all the fussing and fighting and yelling and all that kind of stuff. How do we need to communicate? What do I need to do to bring you back from the brink?
Right.
And I've asked that question in dating before, right? Some individuals have said, just say, hey, you want to go get tacos? Some individuals say, just put your hand on my thigh. Some individuals say, just tell me everything is going to be okay. Whatever that answer is, you need to know. And first of all, you can't communicate it to somebody else if you don't even know. You must first know yourself before you can communicate what it is you want. And a lot of folks don't. What will bring you back from the brink? And that helps your communication. So again, that agreement doesn't have to be difficult. Just got to be early.
No, it's because we're comparing our relationships. That's why it's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So let me read some more comments. Brian Williams says, good evening, everyone.
What's up,
good
evening, She said your whole government name in this one.
Facebook user says, sounds like they need to move to some schedules.
Oh, lie.
I mean, that's 3 months. They don't need to. Well, anyway, I have different thoughts. Alicia says, okay.
She said that about my strip club comment. She put that on there.
Okay, 3 months is why she think he's perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he's not.
Hell, Alicia and Brandon to go to a strip club.
Why
Tell me I'm lying,
you
Lily.
get out here and tell everybody business?
Why?
Because we're trying to help people. We're trying to deliver folks.
That don't mean
And explain to them that life happens. Shit, we saw them now. They was in the VI. See, look at her. Let's put our comment up there.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Click faster. We sure will. You know it. Shit, call me the next time y'all go here. We gonna have a really good time.
Okay, I have a question.
Because my ones be a little damp.
Go on, Grace.
Oh my God. Okay, so I want to ask you guys, why do you think it's so difficult dating in 2022? Like, what are some of the challenges that not just women are facing? Because a lot of times when we talk about these topics about dating, we always paint the picture that it's the guy that doesn't know what he wants, or he's bad, or he's, and you notice when a man doesn't want a woman, automatically he's labeled a narcissist. Like that's a term that's been thrown around loosely.
Too much.
And it's like, maybe, maybe he's just doesn't like milk in his coffee. I mean, I don't know. But why do you think it's so hard though?
Is that your way of saying he don't like white girls?
No, I'm just saying this is preference. Like preference. I'm so glad I'm drinking tea because really, Lord.
Yeah. Just a little all she was saying that was his preference.
Who do you want to answer that question? Because when I answer it,
Miika, please.
What? Okay, so why do you think it's so difficult?
Yeah,
I think it's difficult because in society we have. I'm just going to speak from the women's perspective. The woman's perspective. Jesus,
educated.
I know. I'm gonna say I think we are competing, and me and my girlfriends have talked about this. We're competing with girls and women who do not have to, who don't require a relationship. They'll do everything a man wants to do. They'll be in a situationship. They'll have sex with them. They'll cook for them, but no, commitment is required. But when when I'm sitting down, we're talking and we're trying to date. We're dating with a purpose. He can't speak to what he wants to do because he's so used to getting his way with other women and not having to commit to anything. So I think it's the lack of commitment that's required, from other women. And then he gets to somebody and
let me go. Can I go on and bust that up right quick?
Okay, go ahead, sir.
That's a you problem for individuals like you, right? Because as soon as you identify that that's the case, you need to cut him off and move on to the next one.
Hallelujah.
See, the problem is you let that linger, just like the chick who doing the cooking and the giving the booty and the doing all that other stuff. You let it linger too long. So as soon as you identify what is a deal breaker, you cut it off. And guess what? Either he's going to come to his senses because he realizes the quality with which you are and you operate, and he's going to say, okay, I need to get it together. I'm tired of doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to go there. Because for me, one of my big don'ts in a relationship is don't think that the individual you dating ain't dating somebody else.
Yeah.
Because guess what? That's what they're doing. They're dating. And until you have the conversation to say, is it time for us to go exclusive? Then don't assume that you are.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, we coming right back to the same thing that we were on a moment ago, which was communication.
Right. Because, and you're absolutely right. I was thinking that when Miika was talking, a lot of times as women, when we enter into these relationships or whatever, we don't say the truth about what we want.
Yeah.
We really don't. We'll ask the guy and then he'll say what he wants. And then we want to flex ourselves to what he wants and become their thing. And we're not true to ourselves. So in essence, we start self-abandoning, right? Because that's not what you want. So, or if a guy says, hey, I don't want something, I want something casual. As a woman, I can change him.
I can change him.
This and this and that. No. Baby, if he told you he doesn't want it, let his ass go.
Yeah.
We waste too much time on people that are not for us. And when you do that, you don't allow your person to come. Because your person, God is working on your person. He is molding him, building him, removing stuff while you dating Fred, who has no intention to make you his wife. Fred just wants to have sex. Fred wants to sometimes come out. No. Okay.
And I got news for you too, Miika. A-Trap comment. Can you put Brian's comment up there where he says, where are these women? He was probably trying to be halfway funny, but I'm going to tell you like this. Good dudes rarely come across women like that. I'm telling you right now, I don't have a bunch of folks like that in my face that they're going to do the cooking. They're going to give up the sex. They're going to do all these things with no expectations of a long-term exclusive relationship. I don't come across those folks. So I'm like, A-Trap, where are these women? I have a feeling that the guys that they are attracting to be that type of person aren't very good men anyway. Which is number one, why the dudes are wanting it to go down. But number two, chances are that's the kind of dudes she attracts, who are broken just like she is.
Well, and that's true though. And you have to ask yourself, it goes back to yourself. If you keep attracting the same type of men, you got to say, okay, I need to chill for a minute and figure out myself out. Because it's a spiritual law. Like once you heal in certain areas, you will no longer attract those things. It just completely changes. Let me read some comments, yo, because I'm missing all these comments. Hush. Facebook user says they may need to call it off and do some healing before they get. Oh, it's Derek with somebody. People often take on relationships before they are really ready. That is so true.
Right.
And
Right.
then
Yeah. Yeah. One of my answers was to spend time healing from past relationships. But a lot of people don't know what that looks like. A
no,
lot of people don't know what it means to be healed. They think it's a feeling. They think it's a feeling, as opposed to work put in to actually get over that.
Not only a feeling, take time. They think,
Mm.
okay,
That's right. And time is not a. That's
that is
right.
not an
Time is
indicator
not a
of healing.
determining factor whether
That's
you
right.
healed or not. There's
Right.
been some folks that have been trying to heal from stuff for 40 years.
And
And
still
then it
not
could be somebody that can heal from something in 4 days or
Yeah.
4 weeks. It ain't,
Right. So time is not an indicator of healing.
it's not. Because really everything starts in your mind, how you process. Because God can do things like that, or there's something for you
That's
to
right.
learn, so it could be
That's right.
it could be a process.
And you
But I
haven't
think,
learned it, so it's taking longer.
right. I think we don't. Let me say this: we're such in a hurry to be married, to be in relationships, that we disregard a lot of the red flags that we should pay attention to. And it's not that we don't see the red flags; it's that the wounds in us won't allow us to actually look at a
That's
thing
what's
head
up.
on.
That's
And
good. That's good.
Or we paint those red flags pink or
we
something
give you
else.
roses, like
Yeah.
they're roses, baby. You waste your time. He
Yeah.
don't care. And then he'll meet Susie 2 days later, and then before you look up, the Negro's married.
Mhm.
I mean, okay, let me read
Yeah.
more comments here because
Man,
I'm passionate about this.
I'm tickled.
Okay, where are these women?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, because every time I meet a woman, she asks about dating with purpose. What's wrong with that?
No, he's saying that's a good thing. He's saying
That's
he
a
don't
good
come
thing.
across those women, just like
Right.
I agree.
Back down.
Because I tell you
Yeah.
what, you ain't gonna waste my time. But anyway, very true. Alicia says, and then Brian says, "Agreed, Doc. It's been I don't have my glasses, y'all.
It's been like that my entire life. They say I want a husband and still angry with the last man. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to get on that right there because again, this healing time thing,
Grace said, I don't have my glasses on.
spending time healing for past relationships. I made myself a note that says before you venture to add someone else to your life, be sure you have cleaned your own emotional closet.
Hey,
And I had an analogy that took place to me one night. So here where I do my podcast at, I got a little area set up, and part of that setup is my laptop. Well, one night I was just going to the front door and the garage door to lock down for the night, to make sure the door was locked, make sure the porch light was on, doing what men do at the end of the night to make sure the house is secure before they go to bed. Women, I know y'all like that.
okay.
Then so when I came through here, I have to pass by the area that I do my podcast in. I saw a light over here on the table that I didn't recognize. It was a green light glowing like a neon kind of green. So I looked over there and it happened to be my laptop. And immediately Lord spoke to me and said, sometimes things need to be in the dark where you can see clearly, or you can see for it'll come to light, or you can see the light in it. So that's the situation with healing. You need to stay in the dark for a little while so you can see the light.
Yeah.
No, that's very true though. That's true, because if you don't, honestly, you start repeating patterns, and your ex, every time a man says something to you, then you respond like how you responded to your ex. And so everybody becomes your ex. Everybody is a narcissist. Everybody, done you wrong. And then instead of using your self-awareness and saying, okay, if this relationship didn't work out, I also have contributed something. Because there's not one innocent person in there. That's why people can't move forward. And that's why we keep pointing fingers, because we're not honest about ourselves and what we contribute to the relationship. And it's okay waiting. It's okay to pause and say, I need this time out, because if you don't, you will hurt other people unknowingly and unwillingly. You just, But I do have a question.
Wait a minute. Put these good comments up on here. Yeah. Y'all know I'm smart.
No, it's not.
Yeah. What's in that cup? What is in that cup? Because you're too free flowing. What is in the cup? Because it ain't water.
Jesus juice.
And Ryan says,
That's enough.
I agree. But I have a question. I was thinking about this today. Okay. What is the difference between, let me put this question up, between dating and a relationship? Is there a difference? Do you think? Because I think that is skewed sometimes.
Mika been going first, so I'll go first. Yeah, there can be a difference, or they can be the same. It depends. Again, that's where you got to communicate. See, because think about it for a second. Even if we answer this question tonight, and we
Mhm.
all happen to agree,
Mhm.
yes, there's a distinct difference. Dating is 1, 2, 3. A
Yeah.
relationship is 1, 2, 3. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? That doesn't mean that the people we go meet will think it and see it the exact same way. So,
Yeah.
regardless of what we think it is, you have to establish that by communicating with whoever it is you're going to see. And you may ask, hey, are we just dating? Well, what do you mean by dating? You need to be talking about it and saying, well,
Right.
are we seeing other people? Or are we going to see each other how many times a week? You set the expectation, right? Because guess what? I'm gonna fail most times if you don't properly set expectations. And that's why I try to properly set expectations, because when I go into a relationship or dating someone, I date with a purpose and I want it to work. So I'm going to try to give you all the keys to the championship, keys to success. I'm going to try to tell you, this is what I want, this is what I need,
Mhm.
this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And hey, if it's something you can't deal with, let's shake hands and go our separate ways.
But I think tech hit. I think that's what comes before a relationship to me.
Right.
Dating. We're setting expectations. We're communicating. We're stating what we want. We're stating that we're dating with a purpose. And I think that's when you move into a relationship after you've talked about all this stuff, after you've agreed upon these
Right.
things, and after you know that you both want the same thing. I think you move into a relationship. Dating can last a month. It
Mm,
can last 6 months
that's right.
before you move into a relationship. So it just
That's right.
depends on the couple.
Yeah,
Again.
not with me, but with some people it
Yeah.
can. Okay, what about you? Answer the question, Grace. Is dating different
Then
in a
can
relationship?
I pause and then answer the question?
No.
She was just
Shit.
trying to tell you.
No.
I
Yeah,
got you,
Swallow,
Grace.
swallow while we talking.
I
That way
got you,
you ready
Grace.
to
I
talk when we
got you.
through.
there is a difference between dating and a relationship. Okay. I think there's a huge difference. And like you said, expectations have to be set from the jump. And if a person can't jump on their bandwagon and say, I can't be with somebody that's celibate or I can't do this, then you need to tell the person up front so we
Yeah.
don't waste each other's time. Because listen, at the age that we are, we don't have time to go be dating for 3, 4 years.
Mm.
Okay. It's not that we're in a hurry either, but I mean, 3, 4 years to do what to date and then what? And then you marry
Mm.
somebody else or you go off to be with somebody else. You've taken 4 years of my life that I would never be able to get back.
Mhm.
Time is like currency, it's like money. You
No, you
can't
better
get that
believe
shit
it.
back.
You better
But
believe it.
what
And
we
I,
do,
and I
we
ain't
waste
trying to waste
time
mine.
in hopes that maybe they'll choose us. And really, in essence, you haven't even chosen yourself. That's why you're waiting for somebody to choose you. And then relationships is where you have this commitment and you're working towards something, right? Whether it's marriage or whatever. And that's the thing, in the beginning of having those conversations, you say, hey, I am a wife and this is what I want. This is what I'm not going to do. And like Ivan said, and this is what I will do, because I'm one of this. I say, okay, I don't know if I should say this out loud. I always say I don't cook for ninjas. I'll
Mhm.
only no, I'm serious. That if I cook for you, you have to be freaking special. Because I don't cook for men. That's
Mhm.
something I just don't do. Right. So those are some of the things that let me read some comments because I need to stop drinking this tea.
Or let me read it,
Um,
since you
okay,
don't
you
have
go
your
ahead.
glasses on.
I was
Go
just
ahead. Go
saying.
ahead.
Alicia says, I think it depends on what's being communicated. I consider dating to be, and she finishes on the next comment, without a title. Relationship is exclusive, but I have to communicate that to my partner.
Yep.
Agreed.
True.
And
Agreed.
then A-Trap says, I think dating is with the option to see others. A relationship is monogamous.
Agree.
You see,
But regardless, you better be communicating that again, because I'm telling you right now, if you poll the United States,
Mhm.
50% of people are going to say it's the same. 50% of people are going to say it's different. Simple as that.
you know what? I just thought about something. I watched this TikTok the other day, and it was a woman. She was doing like this video about her day, and she
Mhm.
shows that she went shopping, and then she went on a date, and then the other segment she was like, "I was cooking for my man," and I was like, "Wait, let me re-watch this video." So basically, they in this relationship where she's literally on dating sites dating other people because he
Mm-hmm.
hasn't said he wants to marry her. So she said, "I'm single. I'm gonna be dating the entire
Mm-hmm.
freaking state." And then she was like, well, I cooked pasta because my man wanted pasta. And then we went to bed. So I'm thinking, oh my God, like, is she like having relations with everybody and
Oh,
dating him? Or is he the only one she's having? I mean, because that's a lot of DNA and a lot of
no.
mess. Like when you think about it that way, right? Because I'm always going to think about DNA and then disease.
Mm.
So I'm just like, what? And I was thinking, is that something I could do? And I was like, I'm not built for that. Like, I can't imagine. I'm gonna say to my dude, hey, I got a date tonight. You good? Now, she did say, because I read the comments, that the guy, he is not choosing to date, but she is until he like commits, I guess, to marriage. I don't know. I felt some type of way, but I mean, to each their own, I guess.
Well, he's not going to commit if she's cooking, cleaning, going to bed with him, and doing all that other stuff. Why?
But then she's dating other people, though.
But you ain't finna. I don't even. You ain't finna give my drawers to somebody else,
No.
and you ain't gonna even let my drawers get close to somebody else. I don't know what
No.
they doing, but
Yeah.
I
it ain't
mean,
nothing. It ain't nothing to look up to or model. Hell,
Okay.
so okay, then it goes into the next question, which I was thinking to ask. Anyway, are you single if you're dating?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, so that means even if you have said to the person, okay, we're exclusively dating, that still means I'm single.
But that's not. Oh, so you just moved into a different category when you
No,
say
no,
we are
because
exclusive.
okay,
If-
so then
if
So
we're-
once you become exclusive, you are no longer single. You are in a relationship. Like, so on the Facebook thing, you keep single until you have that conversation with old boy. Until you had that conversation with old boy
mm-hmm.
with I'm just gonna
What?
the Lord is really using me right now, trying to keep me straight. But until you had that conversation with him, it stays single on Facebook. You don't change it until in a relationship till y'all done had that conversation. Again, that's why they have single, in a relationship, married, whatever the case may be. So when you dating, you're single. Once y'all done had this exclusive conversation, you're in a relationship.
I agree to a point. I'm gonna say this. Okay, say why. I agree if you're exclusive, you are in a relationship and you're working towards something.
Who can't shut their phone off right now?
It ain't me.
It.
And Miika.
Man, unprofessional. We don't do that kind of stuff on Queen 3 and King.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. She
Oh my God.
she panicking over there.
Hey, I gotta call you back now.
Who is that?
Okay.
You don't know how to hit decline on this?
I did.
So I want to talk about inconsistency because you made a comment when you were this morning, Ivan, about inconsistency, about how we always want men to be consistent, but yet we are inconsistent in our faith, in all, and you made some very valid points. I want you to elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah,
please.
so let me read the comment first so people can say to understand what I said. I said, quit asking for brothers to be consistent when you're not consistent with your faith, consistent with your countenance, your grace, your mercy, your peace. Cut it out is what I said. So it's that simple. A lot of folks, they keep talking about this consistency. Pay attention to their profile. Pay attention to the rest of their situation. And you'll see they're not consistent in anything that they're doing. Number one, spiritual. If you don't throw that phone to the back, don't be muting there. Fix it. So that's what it is to me. It's just, and the reason why I brought it up is because I happened to see it go on this morning. And so when I looked at it and I saw it, and I'm like, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Every time you turn around, I put that in the same category of, well, if you was a real man, as soon as you say that to me, you can go on and hey, you can kick rocks. I got your real man. I'll show you what that is. Yeah. So as soon as you say that, kick rocks, partner. So I put that in that same category. You asking for consistency, you asking for real men, you asking for, it's like this, man. If I gotta come and ask for respect, I done already lost. If you gotta come and ask and try to describe to a joker what a real man is, you ain't gonna ever get one, because we ain't gonna put up with you. No, see, if you want to know the real deal, if you want to know what real men think, ask me. I'll tell you.
We know.
I'll tell you. Kick rocks.
Now,
one thing about dating, Ted has told me before, Grace, believe it or not, he was like, you shouldn't ever be done when it comes to dating. You remember this conversation, Ted? Yeah. When you said you shouldn't ever be done when it comes to dating. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, because I'm your brother. All you have to do is ask. And one of the things he did tell me was, if you're being disrespectful to a man and he has to go look for respect, that's relationship's over.
Right.
The number one requirement for a man is to be respected.
Yes.
You don't respect him, you can forget it. I didn't say he was gonna leave,
That's
but it's
right.
over.
Yeah.
He might not leave, but it's over.
Yeah.
So, like, I think I shared this with you before, Ivan, when I said respect is like the sixth love language. We don't talk about it, but that's a fact.
Good. That's good.
Because
that's the title of the book right there.
That's right.
Respect, the sixth love language, and put that on my montage, y'all. I'm copywriting that now. This is the
he is a lie, guys. It's
now
my
you got
idea.
now you got to come through me. Have you ever copyright written it? Have you ever put it anywhere? No.
I have it in a notepad on my phone.
It don't matter. Don't matter. I just put it publicly across the airwaves. It's mine. I've copywritten it. Go ahead.
So we're gonna talk about this inconsistency.
So when you want to write the book, holler at me. I might let you use it.
Inconsistency. I believe that people should not start an energy that can't continue. Okay. That good morning, beautiful text, I'm gonna be honest, is very irritating.
I'm with you. I don't even look here. I don't like sending it.
You know how many people are saying good morning, beautiful? What is different about you?
Yeah.
And why are you focusing on a person's looks all the time? Is there do you not see anything else? Because if that's the same shit you talk about constantly, you don't really see me.
Let me answer the question. No, they don't see anything else, which is why they ain't saying anything else. And the reason why they don't see anything else, because they don't know how to get to see anything else. They don't know how to peel back those layers. They don't know how to have a conversation. So if folks coming to you with good morning, beautiful, good morning, beautiful, good morning, beautiful, they ain't got nothing else.
Y'all, the worst one is Grand Rising Queen. I will vomit.
Yeah. Like, I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
You know what? That irritates me so much. A-Trap will tell you. Sometimes I'll text you because we text each other in the morning, on our little forecast messenger group. And sometimes because I want to be irritating, because it irritates me, I say Grand Rising Kings, because I think that is just
yeah, I don't know what it is about the Grand Rising Queen.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
what?
too much. It's like you trying too hard, man. It's like chill.
Say what's up, or you don't have to do all that. Have a good day.
Hey, I'm just gonna do it my way. I'm gonna pop in and say what's up, pimping, or what's up, shawty, or what's something like that. I ain't gonna. I
think it's just a Grand Rising Queen. I hope your day is magnificent, filled with the. I'm like, wait.
Oh, wait. What about the preachers that will send you a whole prayer like this? You like, sir, I ain't gonna be your first lady. You probably from a Kojic church.
But see, here the deal. This is another thing too. If you letting the dude continue to do this, hello, good morning, that is tantamount. That is tantamount to putting up with things in a dating situation. You're not nipping in it, but you're not cutting it. That's it. I'm not, whether you respond or whether you don't. If the joker, let me say this: shooters shoot. I'm gonna say that again. Shooters shoot. If I'm a shooter, I'm gonna keep shooting whether I'm hitting or not. Because the theory is I'm gonna start hitting. So again, if you letting him keep shooting, then as far as he's concerned, he got a chance. If you hadn't seen the movie Dumb and Dumber, he asked this girl that he was infatuated with. He goes, "So, what are the chances of a guy like you and a girl like me?" And this was a dude saying that. This is how nervous he was. Yeah. So he said, "What are the chances of a guy like you and a girl like me ended up in a relationship?" And she says, 1 in a million. And this fool says, "So you're saying there's a chance?" So I'm telling you, whether you answer, whether you don't, you're saying there's a chance until you say it ain't.
I know we
don't take it from me.
No,
I done been a dude my whole life.
No,
and shoot, and I'm a shooter. Shooters shoot.
Because it's something. It reminded me of my brother told me when we were in South Africa. No, seriously though, like we were going to it was like a party in a park, all right, and it was summertime, so I put on some shorts, huh?
You said a porta potty in the park? You said a potty in a park.
Party in park. A party.
That's why you
Grace. Go. I know.
My
Anyway,
girl wants
so
to party all
Party
the
all the
time,
time. Party
party
all
all
the
the
time.
time, party all the time. You know
I'm gonna take you out.
they made a little CD like that to help kids get potty trained. They says my kid likes to party all the time, party all the time, party all the Okay, so y'all said a
Okay.
party in the park. Good.
We're going to party in the park, and I
Right.
wore shorts. And my brother said, "Don't wear that." And I'm like, "Why? It's summertime." And he said, "You're going around single woman. I mean, married woman. Everybody's with their husbands. You're the only single person there." And he's like, "I noticed people looking at you the day before." And I was like, "I don't care if they're looking." But you know what I did? I did change,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
when I went, I realized he was right, because
Yeah.
I noticed things I didn't know, because now I was more conscious of it. I
Mm.
thought because I was in my environment, like, and people from back home, and I went to school with some of them. Mm-mm. So I say this to say this. No, we're listening to what you're saying, because you are a man. I mean, and you done some things in your past or even in your present. We don't know, right? Shooting your
Easy.
shot. But anyway, I'm just saying.
Shooters shoot.
So no, I mean, we like,
This is ridiculous.
women are, sometimes we can be ridiculous, like, honestly, especially controlling in
Say that
relationships.
again.
No, she's not lying.
Yeah,
I
say
mean,
that
we
again.
can be like, we are awful wanting to control a situation, thinking that we can make somebody
Yeah.
stay. You
Yeah.
cannot make any human being do anything they don't want to do.
But if I have to make you stay, I don't want you. You should have to make anyone do
Right.
anything.
So H-Rap said it's a fact. Most men, you have to clearly say no, I'm not interested. Otherwise, he will continue to try. Don't be polite in the future. Otherwise, he will continue to try. That's real
So
talk.
No,
okay,
but
so
you
that's
have to be
interesting.
polite. Because
No, no,
then
no. It ain't even about being polite. It's about being clear about what the
yeah.
situation is. Because guess what? He's going to think, okay, this good morning beautiful wasn't getting it. Let me switch it up to this. Or he's thinking, well, one morning she's going to be real down and it's going to get her. She's going to respond and then it's
No,
going to give me
no,
whatever. He's got hope no matter how hopeless it
no,
is or how hopeful it is. He got
no.
hope.
Why would he
Okay.
have hope?
I've been leaving you
See
on
what I'm
red
saying?
for months.
Viewing audience, listen to what's going on here. It is what goes on time and time again. A dude is trying to tell them what the deal is, and they are arguing it. They don't
What
know
argument?
what I.
We're not arguing.
Y'all are trying to say, why would he not? Why would he have hope? Why would he have hope instead? It don't matter why, because that's the way he's built. Does it matter why? No. The fact of the matter is, the dude got hope. Take that and shut that hope down. Kill his hope. Be a dream killer.
Oh,
See what I'm saying?
that's so mean.
See what I'm okay? That's why your damn inbox is littered with no good Negroes.
How you know? So was yours.
Because you ain't win with him.
You don't know?
You just telling me about the good morning stuff. That's all he doing is sending.
No,
telling me
that
good
don't mean
morning.
it's happening right now. It's happened in the past. I've had Grand Rising Queen.
And how did you stop it?
We just say, that's not what I really like. I don't respond to that.
You just proved my point.
But it was
I mean,
polite.
I said I don't care whether you be polite or not. I care whether you're clear or not.
but I will say, Ivan, is that when you don't respond or you leave them unread, they no longer message you, because they don't. They stop
I've
messaging.
experienced that too.
I mean, they just, and that's good too.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Ben says good evening.
Shooter,
Hi,
shoot.
Ben.
Hey,
Ben
Ben.
ain't no shooter. Don't put his comment up there.
Oh,
Shooter,
my.
shoot. Ben ain't shot in 20.
Oh my
They
God.
can't trap. They ain't listening, no dog.
No, we are listening. You know what? Every picture or everything I've ever showed my brother.
Major league or college?
Huh?
You said every picture at major league
Oh,
or college?
see, there you go now. There you go now. Don't mock my accent, please. Like, you don't understand. Every conversation I've had with my brother about a man, he's always been on it. Honestly, like, he's been on that thing. He'll tell me, "Good dude, this one's like this one's like that," or whatever, and always
We
has
can
been on
see.
point. Like, for real, he can tell me like this without even meeting the person. I hate it. Huh?
There are certain behaviors that are obvious for men as what's legit, what's not legit. It's easy.
Yeah, it is. So I want to move on to, I want to talk about masculine energy that sometimes us women do when we are dating. I don't know who this is. What good, Ben? First time catching the show, bro. Okay, I said that with the accent. Okay. Anyway,
She said, "What's good, Ben?"
right. Um, I notice a lot of women, and I'll speak for myself. Now that I'm conscious of it, right? Like you have a strong personality, but you're strong with everybody, including your men. Like you don't know when to turn the shit off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a leader at work, you come home and you do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize that that's lack of wisdom, right? We don't know when to turn that thing off and on, and that's why a lot of people, a woman especially in these positions, that normally are single because we want to act like men. And I know this
Mm-hmm.
may not make me popular, which I don't care because this is the reality that I see.
Yeah.
Like for example, the way we were raised, right, was very what's the word? Traditional. Like my
Mm-hmm.
mother, very strong person, but when my father came home, super submissive. It doesn't mean she was a slave, but she knew
Yeah.
her role, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She knew what to do in order to run a household, but she also could run a business because my father was sickly, especially like towards his end. So she was running a business and she was his wife,
Yeah.
right? And I don't see a lot of that now. I'm all about empowering women, and I teach my daughters that, but I also teach them about the Proverbs 31 woman, which is a badass. If you read that scripture, that woman is a
That's right.
badass.
Yeah.
But we don't look at it that way because our friends are like, no, burn your bra. Please don't burn your bra. Please
Yeah.
keep it
Yeah,
on,
ain't gonna be
baby.
sagging all over here.
And so what I noticed, you so silly. And what I noticed though, is that that's why we pursue men versus allowing men to pursue us. Because when you are pursuing a man, you are in that masculine energy. Men are hunters. You're supposed to be wait, not that you don't state what you want, but you
Yeah.
should sit back and take a back seat sometimes and let him figure it out. That's not to say you're waiting on this one person, especially if they haven't committed. So I say all that to say this. What do you think about that, Ivan? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's 100% right. Women, I see a lot of women who are in their masculine energy quite a bit, and that is a turn off and a half. Now, I understand why they are in that masculine energy because they've had to. A lot of them are
Right,
single moms, and they're the sole breadwinner, and everything is on them currently. So, in order to get life done, sometimes you have to be that, right? Uh, but they just don't know how to, like you said, turn it off or adjust. And we all have to realize that we are different people, right? I am a brother, I am a uncle, I am a father, I am a grandfather. You gotta, and I'm also a business owner, and I'm also a friend, and you gotta move in
right,
and out of these roles. I'm not gonna come and assert myself the same way with my partner Craig as I do at work.
No. Right.
And I'm not going to go assert myself the same way with my grandkids as I do with my adult kids. You got to understand the difference in what energy you're
right,
operating with. And for me, the energy that I want back is a peaceful energy. So therefore, no matter what energy I'm operating in, it is laced with peace.
right. What do you think, Mika?
I mean, I think that is because I've heard men say this all the time, and that's one thing that I've always wanted to focus on because I think, like you said, being single, running your own household, work, you need to, but when you come home, you have to be gentle and peaceful and bring, your feminine energy. So that is one thing I do actually pray about, just making sure, when I am with, my man or whatever the case may be, that I bring that because can't two dudes be in no household just, butting
Right,
heads all the time. And
right,
if you bring that energy, he's gonna combat it with his energy, like because he's leading this household, and he can't do that with you bringing that masculine energy that you bring.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I also think I think Ivan said this too. A lot of times, women are single parents and stuff like that, so that's
Yeah,
why they function that way.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, they come from households where their mother was single. And it's so important for women,
That's
and
right.
especially women. We need not to talk bad about our exes in front of our daughters and our sons
Oh, look at
yeah,
here. That
yeah,
is a
because
big no-no.
I'm telling you, I had to clean up some because I was pissed off in the beginning, and I changed it because I said my son's gonna think his mother hates men, and my girl's gonna think that you can disrespect a man. And I had to I apologized and tell him no, that's not how it's done.
yeah,
This is not God's standard. And I think if we as mothers actually go to our children and say, you know what, I made a mistake, so they can see us as being human, and then they don't have to do the same things we've done. And that's why we have the cycle of these women doing this stuff. And I mean, because I have a friend that when I talked about submission, she went off on me. and she's
Mm-hmm.
been in a marriage for a long time. So I'm wondering how this is working out over here, because
Wow.
who's the ninja in this relationship?
Yeah.
Because you don't know when to turn this thing off. And
Mm-hmm.
how is your, like, are you in the relationship because you actually want to be there, or are you there because you've been in there for so long? Because sometimes I say you'd rather just stay because it's been, whatever.
So let me say something about this submission and this Proverbs 31 woman and all this other kind of stuff and this energy. So here's the deal, right? So women, for the most part, have a natural tendency to want to be those things that a Proverbs woman wants to be, right? They
Mm-hmm.
want to naturally, for the most part, operate in that submission early on, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is that it has been taken advantage of so
Mm-hmm.
many times up to this point. And the reason why is because when they read Proverbs 31, they don't understand that it is telling you right in the midst of it that Proverbs 31, everybody doesn't qualify for it. You don't pay attention to the fact that it describes her husband. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. That ain't no chump. He ain't sitting at the house playing Madden and
All
smoking a
day.
blunt, borrowing your
Right.
car.
Right.
Okay, so that's the kind of dude who you done been a Proverbs 31 submissive woman to. And when he dogged you out, now you can't give it to a dude who's deserving, a man who's deserving.
Right.
So again, and then another thing is that we talk a lot more about counseling in our community now, right? And everybody should be going to counseling. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody, just so you can kind of get an outside look at who you are, right? A lot of women don't know what energy they operate in. It's not even come close to crossing their minds because they are too busy running life, doing the day to day of life. I got to work. I got to pay all the bills. I got to take care of these kids. I got to take care of mama. I got to go make sure, et cetera, et cetera. So they're doing the day to day of life. They hadn't stopped long enough to determine what they are, who they are, what deficiencies
Right.
they may have, or what strengths they may have.
Ivan, can you read some of the comments, please?
Yes. H-Rap says, I think we both need to learn to turn it off because, as you said, she's your wife, not your underling. Lily says, woo, that's real. And then H-Rap says, thank you for the scripture. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody don't qualify.
No, they don't. And a lot of times we've been hurt. Like, well, I don't want to say this, but we've been hurt that whenever somebody comes with strength, if you're not healed, you're gonna
Oh,
think they're
yes.
gonna do
Gonna
what
look
they
like
just
something
did.
else. That's a
Right.
fantastic point. I've said that frequently, is that strength can look like control. A
Yeah.
dude who knows exactly what he wants, who knows how to guide and direct his family, it can look different if you're not healed. I promise you that. You are
Yes.
100% right. You
Um,
are.
you said something profound, that people should go to counseling, so they can become aware of the energies they function in. I don't know about Joe, but the worst kind of person to interact with is one that has no freaking self-awareness. Have you ever
Oh,
encountered that?
Oh
no
my
doubt.
gosh.
No doubt.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. And in relationships, I don't know about you, I would want to be in a relationship with somebody that didn't know why and how they're functioning. Because what's going to happen is that they become the victim. So their victim mindset kicks in because you are picking on them
Yeah.
because they have zero. I don't want someone like that. And then talking about counseling, because when I did the show, like put it on Facebook, I was reading that a lot of people talk about counseling on the first dates, and they will not have a second date with you if the person hasn't mentioned counseling.
Yeah.
I think counseling is very relevant in this day and age, to be honest,
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
because there's too many failed marriages, failed relationships. People haven't dealt with their childhood. They don't know themselves like at all. Zero awareness of but why. See, the why is important to know. Okay, I move like this because of this, but I don't no longer have to move like this anymore because I'm an adult
Mhm.
now. I get to decide how I feel. I get to decide if what's true and what's not. A lot of times, I think I wrote this a while ago. A lot of times, we say we're broken because somebody told us that we are broken, and then we agreed, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
Right.
spiritually we made an agreement. So now that's completely in your psyche. Like you think you broke it because I mean, I've said this all the time. I'm so broken, and I had to realize, no, you're not broken. You actually whole. You just
Yeah.
had some bad things happen, and now you have an awareness. And so the person that you're going to end up with is going to have the best version of you because you're not that person because you see who you were and what you came from, right? And I think that's relevant for all of us. We are not going to be the spouses that we were before. or the girlfriends that we were before, because we know better. And when you know better, you do better.
Yeah, you shouldn't be, for sure. And
Yeah.
if an individual, whether it be a male or a female, cannot handle a conversation about counseling early on, whether it be the first date, the second date, or whatever, they're telling you a lot. So if they get uncomfortable because you discussed it, then that means they don't really have a good grasp of what counseling is or the benefits that come with it.
And they got to go because they're not your person.
Or if they tell you, I've never been through anything, so why should I go through counseling? So
No,
yeah,
wait. Let me tell you what's the best one I hear. I talk to a higher power.
yeah,
So do I, but I still go to counseling. I mean,
that's
Jesus.
right.
Really? I mean,
Right.
it's about that. I'm so tired of people. Listen, prayer is everything. Okay. I live a life of prayer. But the
Yeah.
reality is this: if you don't combine prayer with practical things, you won't heal.
You
And I'm a
won't.
living
Right.
testament.
No doubt.
I'm so sick of hearing Christian folks, sorry guys, but talking about, oh, just pray about it, just speaking tongues. It doesn't work. How many evangelicals are committing suicide? Did they not speak in tongues? Did they not pray? But you think they were
Right.
just laying there and allow? So we have to be realistic about this, because anyway, I don't want to continue.
Faith without works.
Right.
H-Rap says, I feel that happens because the truth scares the hell out of people. So I think that's a very valid point. Some folks don't want to know the truth. It's like the line says, you can't handle the truth. You don't want to know it. So you like to walk through blind.
Man.
Or that gives you another reason not to take accountability, and that's a whole nother
That's right.
piece of dating.
100.
So if I don't have to go to counseling, I don't get to realize, what's happening to me. So I can't take accountability because I didn't know. So that's just another whole piece of dating, that accountability.
H-Rap says, I agree with her. I had to stop saying I had an anger management issue. I had to learn to address things in a timely fashion before they build up.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people. I know this sounds crazy, but I will respect you if you tell me the raw truth. I don't care how bad it is or how you think you may hurt me. Please hurt me, because that gives me the opportunity to now either accept what you're saying.
That sounds like some freaky shit right there. That's what she said. Please hurt me.
No, tell me. Don't lie to me, because if you lie to me, no, I'm gonna be real. If you lie to me, I will never look at you the same again. I will not trust you, because in my foundation, in my childhood, there was a lot of lies. So when somebody lies for shit you don't have to lie about, because you could have just said it, I will not mess with you. I'm done. It will take a hard time for me to come around again. And don't talk about that white lies, because that's bullshit. White lies is lies. Okay, that
Or
is
lying by omission, still a lie.
That's a lie. Just saying. Okay, we have one more comment to read, I think.
Nope, we already read it.
So yeah, the truth, I mean, it helps you navigate how you need to navigate, move forward. I mean, yes, will it hurt? Absolutely. And yes, you have to nurse your wounds, but at least you know where you stand with that person.
So Rabia, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is submission sexy?
Absolutely. I think it's very sexy.
Elaborate.
But you can't be submissive to everybody. You can't be every relationship you enter, you're like, I'm gonna be no, because I need to see if the person can lead, and not just lead by the world stands. I need to see, are you actually functioning in the design that God said you should function?
That's right.
Or are you that to me is important, because that's my identity and that's my foundation. So I wouldn't have an issue being submissive. Although my ex would probably say, she's not submissive. Right. I can't submit to nonsense and allow my family to be destroyed. So you're absolutely right. Now, should a person be picking and choosing who they should be submissive to? Yes. Yes, because that's wisdom. Because I've seen African women, right? And I'll say, because from culturally, that have lost everything because they were married to fools and they were businessmen, but they were fools and lost everything because you want to be submissive. At that point, if you're stronger in that area, it should be okay that, hey, I do this well and you do this well, and that's how we divide it. Like if I'm in a relationship, I know I'm the prayer person. I don't need you to do what I do. You just sit up there and chill. I got this, right? It doesn't make me look at you like, oh, I can't be with you because you can't pray like me. You're not supposed to pray like me. That's not your calling. We good, honey. You take care of the other stuff. I don't need you to do that, right? But that's what people don't do now. Because I used to be one of those people. Well, if he doesn't preach or if he's not an apostle, I can't be with that person. You know what I learned? Crap. That is nonsense.
Crap. That is crap.
Crap.
Mika,
But
your turn.
anyway,
It's submission sexy. We ain't
it's
finna be in no hurry. I know it's an hour. We ain't worried about that. This is BS3 Network. I'm the creative services director. We all right. Mika, answer the question. It's
I'm in a
submission sexy.
hurry. Good night.
It's
Miika.
because we talking about submission.
No. Submission is sexy to me. Yes. But like Robbie said, when done with the correct person, that
Right.
everybody doesn't deserve it. I mean, just like everybody doesn't deserve a Proverbs 31 woman. Like
Right.
it's deserved. It's something you I mean, I think it should be given to the proper your husband.
Right. And
The right
see,
husband.
The right husband.
no, not. I mean, that sounds so bad. The right husband. I would
The
think
meaning, because it's a lot of folks that become. I mean, think about that. I don't care what it sounds like. It is what it is.
no.
So
Okay.
sometimes the joke. How many people right now don't have the right husband but got a husband?
And
Listen,
you're supposed to be submissive to him.
listen. African woman, like, want to be married. If you're not married, is not good. Like, you don't know what they were saying. Listen, what they were saying to me when I was at home, but I don't care, because I'm Americanized now. But anyway, so if you're not married, it looks like, oh, she's not married. Something must be wrong with her,
Right.
And so they will just get married to get somebody's last name and to be married. And I'm like, we're in 2022, baby. We're not just marrying to say we got a husband. Like they had, like in the old days, but in the Old Testament, if you see how they got married, there was a reason for why they did things. It was either to bring businesses together, bring homes together, lineage. It's all that. I mean, and I think we should be thinking the same way in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. So who's okay? Mike Gustav says, "I love that." Ivan, this is a long sentence. Okay.
Brian H-Rap says exactly. My wife better never let me send anything out. I'm the typo king. Right, and then Mike said something else. He goes, "Hey, take it easy." I don't know what he's talking about,
I don't know.
but sometimes taking it easy ain't helping folks.
No, I think this conversation is necessary because it's open and it's honest, and so I can't take it easy because I'm passionate about it. So
That's the first thing I've told people who I develop an advisory relationship with, or who comes and asks me to mentor them. I tell them, "Are you sure that's what you want?"
right,
Because this ain't the funny laughing. You sure that's what you want? Because sometimes I gotta tell you like it is, like it is, like it is, and sugarcoating it and soft pedaling it, that ain't gonna do you no good.
right, because
I needed to sting a little bit.
right, because love is correction. If you think
Yeah.
about it, if
Yeah.
somebody loves you, they will correct you. Right? It's just like God. God could allow us to go down a spiral path and kill ourselves. But what does he do? He alerts the intercessors. He shows you, maybe talks to
Yeah.
you, because he wants to correct you so that you can change whatever you're doing, whatever path you're going on. So I prefer being in relationships, even friendships. But now I will say though, not everybody can tell me anything, because if you're a fool, please, no. But I'm saying in my relationships, I'm talking about my solid, close relationships. If somebody told me something, I would have an ear for them and I would listen. Doesn't mean I'm going to take the advice, but I'm
Right.
open to listening and maybe incorporating whatever they're going to say into my lifestyle or how it fits me. But what do? Most of us, we become, what's the word? Defensive. Who do they think they're telling me? Or what? Why? Well, I'm telling you because I've experienced this. I've seen this before, but anyway.
So one more question for me, and then I'm done. So, and I'm gonna ask Grace first, and then Miika, you can answer this question.
Jesus.
Have you ever asked someone to marry you?
No, I have not.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Like, what is wrong with you?
You've
But-
never said you're gonna drop down on one knee.
No.
Okay.
What
Go
the
ahead,
devil?
Miika.
No.
What about you, Miika?
No.
You know what's funny? I actually had that question on paper.
Where did that come from?
It's just we talking about dating and stuff, and I just want to know.
Yeah, where did
'Cause
that
that's
come
a thing nowadays. Haven't you seen the videos on
I've
Facebook
seen
and
it.
stuff? So I want to know if
and I
y'all.
disliked
Wait.
it.
Hey, did you see the one where they in Nigeria, right? And the woman, she gets on one knee, and the guy walks away, and she's running on her knees. And I'm like, girl, get your ass up.
I mean,
And
it was
she was
one
like-
where this chick was in front of all her family. Her daddy was there, her brothers was there.
They
And she
should
asked
got
this
her.
dude to marry him, and he just walked away. And they started trying to fight, old boy. Like, you gonna do my daughter like that?
Yes, fight
I'm
him.
not kidding you.
No, but yeah, that's like no,
No
that's a no no.
thanks.
And the
No.
reason why, honestly, all seriousness, I wouldn't do that because I don't think that the person will value me like I need to be valued because now I've become a man, and I ain't a man, so I ain't gonna ask him but to marry me.
Mike Gustav says most people don't correction. I think he's trying to say don't see it as correction.
Oh,
They feel like you're telling them to do, not
What to do?
correcting. Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Brian H. Rap says that was 100% correct. Love is correction. That's one of the major reasons I'm single now. Then he goes on to say, if a woman asked me to marry her, I would never speak to her again. She is 1,000%
I
correct. Or
would.
1 million correct. Whatever.
Yeah.
I would be so embarrassed. Like I actually got on one knee. Like really, and because the kids will joke with me, and Layla will say, "Mom, I'm gonna ask so and so to marry me," and I'm like, "Girl, don't do that shit." Because I don't. I mean, I don't like. Don't even joke about that kind of stuff because I'm like, no, you don't do that. You don't never ask a man to marry you.
No, because if he wants it, he'll do it.
Exactly. Because a lot of times a man knows what he wants anyway. He knows very, very early on what he wants and what he doesn't want. Are we right, Ivan? Are we right? Are we
But I was
right?
about to say, I was about to ask that, Grace, too. Tay, within the first, if you're dating someone, don't they know they want to be with you within the first, 3 to 6 months? Like, really be with
Real
you.
early, yeah, early. Now you can change. Now see here the deal is because it's a situation where yeah they know pretty early, and I'm not even gonna say it's the 3 to 6 months. They know real early, and that's what tells them whether they're going to take it to the exclusive level and stuff like that. Now you can undo that. You know, he can change his mind based on behaviors and he's like, okay, I'm for me, it's like, okay, I think that's somebody I can work with. And then I got to see her in scenarios. I got to see her out with friends. I got to see her out on vacation. I got to see her around family. I got to see her during the holidays. I got to see her when she done got a speeding ticket. You know, I need to see how you react in these situations.
Mhm.
So again, I may have a certain thought process, but you can undo it. But yes, a dude know early on whether or
So,
not he gonna kick it with you or not.
so having someone that you're dating, especially, let's just say after the age of 35, dating 4, 5, 6, 7 years, that should be.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't waste my time like that. Let alone I would tell a female. And see, I'm hesitant about telling somebody to end a situation, but
Mhm.
I will. You know, I will tell them. You know, hey, this ain't. I don't see it like that. You know, and I think if the dude was interested, you know, et cetera, et cetera. You know, and I wouldn't be giving any ultimatums and stuff like that.
Right.
Nope. You
Go.
know, if I'm not gonna. But again, those situations are allowed because that early communication didn't take place.
Mhm.
Simple
Yeah.
as that.
And they don't take place because people are embarrassed because either embarrassed or they don't want to be rejected.
Mhm.
I was about to say, or they don't want to lose that
Yeah.
person.
And
Yeah.
H-Rap
But you
said
know,
it well. He goes, Miika, depending on how much we communicate, 2 weeks to a month. Yeah. It ain't gonna take long.
Whoa.
Yeah, it ain't gonna take long.
yes, wouldn't you rather be rejected very early on than
Heck
putting
yeah.
all that freaking time in?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Like,
Yes.
and then you develop feelings. At least now you're like, oh, I knew that ninja back then for 2 days. It was all good. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Then you don't have to sit here and then listen, because women, we are more emotional, right? And so we take longer to get over things. Some
Mhm.
some of us have to fast to get over things.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you take longer to get over things. I mean, and a man could. I mean, we're talking about this. A man can have sex and be in love with somebody else.
Sure can.
I mean, it's not like that's why when people say cheating, of course I will leave your ass. But I'm saying I don't. How do I say this? I had a friend talk about cheating, right? But she was not even married, like she was dating. And I was like, honey, first of all, you're not married. Not saying that it's okay, but he probably doesn't want the other person. He just did it because it was
Yeah.
ass. I mean, to do it. It's like taking a breath. That's what you'll do.
God, no.
I'm telling you this, but let me tell you, when I was in South Africa, it is not uncommon for men to be married and have other women, right? It is very normal. I actually had siblings that wanted to introduce me to their freaking mistresses. Like it's not uncommon.
Yeah.
It's normal. But not saying it's okay. Let me disclaimer: it's not okay, but that's normal. So it's not that he doesn't love his wife because he's never going to leave his wife. But this is just for right now until he gets tired of this one. And I asked one of my siblings, "Isn't your body tired? Ain't you tired?" Don't you
Oh,
want?
beat your body
So
tired.
somebody texted me and they says, "Is she Egyptian?" I went to school with the Egyptian and Ethiopian woman. She gives me that vibe. Yep.
Ah,
That's
that's funny.
No.
I hate y'all. Oh my god. Oh, you're done now? You're done?
I'm done. I'm
I'm done.
done.
Okay, guys, you're ready to wrap this up. I don't want to step on the guy that's over its
This
toe.
your show.
The
Mhm.
Cigar Chronicles are next.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So,
Right.
guys, I just want to thank you guys for listening, and thank you, Miika and Ivan, for being here today. This was so much fun. And I just want to say that life is about progression, right? Not perfection, because why? Life happens. Anyway, guys, we will see you next week.
I
Bye.
wonder how many sleepless nights you had coming up with that tagline.
That's enough.
Actually, you are a hater. Goodbye.
Dang.
See?